Welcome to today's episode. Let's talk about today's guest. We have Ben Joy from Etch. How you doing today, Ben?
I'm very good, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, great. It's good to have you. We're talking a little bit about Edge, and it's a big company there. So in your own words, tell us a little bit more.
Yeah, so I work for Etch. Etch is a digital agency consultancy, and we kind of provide marketing services and advice to companies. We work in hospitality, financial services, and also gaming. And gaming is the division that I'm a part of. So that's kind of my area specialty. I know a little bit about the other areas, but gaming is where I put most of my focus. And we help customers and clients kind of work through strategic design, product design, kind of from a consulting perspective. Work a lot with data, that kind of thing, help offering marketing services.
Definitely, that's important. And so that way, then our listeners can get a good understanding of Edge, or just specifically on that play. What key problems that you guys like to solve for clients?
So on the play side of the business, we spend a lot of time working kind of on acquisition and retention. So as I say, we work with video game clients. So a lot of our focus is on marketing video games themselves. So trying to get players interested in the games and then converting to either wishlist a game or buy a game. But equally, we also work with video game studios as well, which is kind of a different function. Marketing a game and marketing a game studio are two different skills and have different aims and objectives. So on the studio side, we're looking to kind of grow the brand, get the name out there. And a lot of the time it can be not so much recently with what's going on in the gaming industry with a lot of layoffs, but also a lot of recruitment is quite a big driver for studio. So we help them with that, with their positioning, how to get the right people in the right roles is what we advise on as well.
Definitely important. Awesome to hear that. And so that on that note, then, as far as for Edge, is there a certain, you mentioned the industries that you guys like to go for, but is there another vertical or segment that you guys like to go for, or would those be your ideal ICPs that you have, like hospitality, gaming, retail?
Yeah, hospitality, financial services, gaming are kind of our three main prongs, but we also do work in education a little bit and charity sectors as well. As I say, gaming is my specialty, and kind of we come at it with a customer experience lens a lot of the time, so trying to improve customer experience and digital growth across all of those verticals. So we kind of have those specialties from a marketing and consulting perspective, and then we have individuals like myself who then specialize in the individual industries and layer that on top of the marketing and consulting knowledge that we've got.
Definitely awesome. All right, perfect. And so that way, how would then some of these industries like the hospitality, financial service, gaming, and entertainment, how would they typically find out about Edge? Is there a top client acquisition channel for you guys?
Yeah, so we gain a lot of exposure through events, especially on the gaming side. And we attend a lot of the industry gaming events. We attend some of the more consumer focused ones as well, but really because we're offering our services to other businesses rather than direct to the consumers who are buying games, we get to a lot of events, either as participants. So we go and we try and get speaking arrangements and get on panels and roundtables and kind of get our name out there and do that kind of thing. We also do referrals as well. So we kind of get a lot of work through referrals. So once we get a client in, we try and leverage the work that we've done with them. And when they're happy to say, yeah, we did a good job for them, they're happy to refer us. And we use our website. I would say our website is not our primary tool for generating leads, but it's a good tool to back up what we can do. So if we've been at an event or someone's referred us, they can come to our website and see kind of the brands that we've worked with and the services that we offer, and read some of the stories for successes we've had with clients to kind of back up that we hopefully do know what we're talking about and deliver for them.
Definitely important. And on that note, so that way our listeners can go ahead and visit you guys. You can always check them out at edgeuk.com. Then what role would the website then for play for client acquisition? You mentioned, they go in there, but is there do you guys have any strategies on the website as far as that?
Yeah, so it's very content focused around the strategy and generating the right kind of content for the site. So we're always looking to try and get the best success stories we can on there, and kind of get that structured in a nice way that kind of really highlights what the problem was, how we solved it, and then importantly what the results are, and just trying to make it really clear and simple. Especially on the player side, we try and keep the content as a minimum and more to the point, because it can be quite easy, especially when you're talking about yourself, to just kind of waffle and say how good you are, when really what we want to do is let the work we've done speak for itself and more talk about the success that our clients have had. And through that, you can see the benefit that we've had. So we do pump out regular blogs on the play side. So we do updates and roundups kind of what's going on. And then we try and do some thought pieces as well of kind of our take on what's going on in the industry and our opinions on things. And then also kind of tips on marketing, because we offer marketing services. We like to feed out some of the knowledge that we've got that people can put into practice and kind of tease what we can help them with if they want to bring us in to accelerate what they're already doing themselves.
Definitely. Okay. Awesome to hear that. And on that note, then, is there any tools or tips or methods that you would recommend as far as some lead generation?
So I think getting on the socials, we leverage that quite a lot. So I say we don't use the website for a lot of inbound leads. We get the occasional ones, but it's there really as kind of a backup to validate what we are. So when we do pump out content, we want to make sure that we're signposting it on the relevant platform. So a lot of what we promote is on LinkedIn, because that's kind of where our audience are. But if we feel something is more relevant for another platform, we will put it on there. But that's kind of the main thing. Because what you don't want to do, no one wants to be just creating content that sits on a website that people aren't finding. So we're trying to get it out into the networks and get it shared by people in the company and then shared by people in the industries that we work in to get a bit wider spread and then bring people into the website that way, so then they can find out more about us.
Definitely important. All right, awesome. And so then let's switch gears then a little bit, Ben, and let's talk about you. What does your day look like? Is there your day-to-day work? Is there some key tasks you like to focus on?
Yeah, so my role in the Etch Play team is kind of is more a strategic role. So I'm involved in all of the projects that the Play team run with the gaming clients. So I kind of straddle an account management role and a strategy role, so kind of looking after the relationship, but then also with every project we're working on, making sure the work that we're doing is actually achieving the goals that one of our clients has. So trying to make sure, for example, if we're on a wish list drive, for example, or we're trying to raise awareness for a game through generating trailer views, that everything we do is working towards that, be that the information architecture of a website, the media campaign we're working on, making sure it's reaching the right audiences, so doing kind of audience segmentation and looking at the right channels to use, the right spends to put out there if you're doing paid media. And I also focus a lot on the analytics for our clients as well. So the analytics that we get through the website and what we can learn through media channels and platforms, and tying those things together so that we can really learn and educate a client and also educate ourselves for future campaigns, what works, what doesn't work, so that we can get the best possible results. So that's kind of what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis, managing the relationships and getting down and dirty with data is kind of how I straddle most of my days.
Then it's a tough, right? I mean, managing there's always one thing that they're going to say, and you gotta, with a smile, say, hey, you know what, we'll work on it and find a solution. So you got a tough thing there, but kudos for you to be able to balance that out. So great for you, Ben. And well, then let's jump into our next section here, Ben, which is our rapid fire question round. So are you ready for them?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Perfect. First off, what is the last book that you read?
Oh, I feel like you want me to say a business book, but I don't read many business books. So the last book I read is the new Alan Partridge book. I don't know if that means anything to someone who's not British, but it's a fictional character from UK TV, a comedy character. So that was the last book I read.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Great to read there for our listeners. Next is, what is one single thing that the company is focused on at the moment the most?
Data is definitely the thing we're most focused on, is trying to really understand as much data as we can. It's getting harder and harder to collect data with kind of all the cookie policies that are coming in, which from a user perspective is good, but as a marketer, it's getting harder and harder. So just trying to really understand the data that we have and how best to leverage it is what we're really focused on.
Definitely. Okay. Now, if there would be no boundaries in technology, then Ben, what would be that one thing that you want to have fixed for your role as a marketer today?
Or sticking on the data theme, a platform that just brings all of the data from every platform in seamlessly. They're probably out there, so I guess maybe it's not something kind of that technology is a barrier, but maybe cost is a barrier. But if you could bring all of that data in from your website, from the media platforms, from your CRM platform, from the gaming perspective, the telemetry that you can get out of games, so how players are playing the game and using them, and all into one platform that you could stitch everything together very, very seamlessly, that would make my life a whole lot easier if that existed and was affordable in in a good manner. So that's what I'd be looking for.
Definitely. All right, awesome. Great to hear that. Next is, if there's one repetitive task that you could automate, then what would that be?
Oh, that's a good question. Automating, I think doing estimates as a service-based business, when you're doing estimates, they take quite a while to do. So if there's a way to automate that would be excellent. But every project is unique, so not always the easiest, but they do take quite a lot of time to do and get right.
Definitely. Okay. Great to hear that. And well, lastly, Ben, what is one piece of advice that you would give yourself if you were to restart your journey as a marketer today?
I think I would say understand the need to specialize, but also be a generalist, which feels kind of counterintuitive. So I think some people can maybe go really hard in on a specialism, be that in marketing or an industry, and that's really valuable if someone needs that role. But if you're in a service-based business like we are at Etch, you kind of need to straddle various elements of marketing. So I would say don't neglect yourself to just one. Try and get as much exposure to the different facets of marketing, be that CRM, paid media, website acquisition, those kind of things. Pick one to specialize in. And I would also say an industry to specialize in is always worthwhile. Like I say, I've specialized in gaming, which has helped me massively. But don't specialize yourself into a corner. Make sure you keep a general broad knowledge while being an expert in one area is what I would say.
Okay, awesome to hear that from you, Ben. And well, Ben, we're coming to the end of the show here, but before we do end, I do want to give you the last word. If someone forgets everything about the interview today, what is that one thing they should remember about your company?
That we are here to help gaming studios to promote their games, learn better data from their players, and really accelerate their campaigns in a creative way that is data driven to really maximize their sales for games. We're super invested in the industry. We've been in it for a long time. We've got a lot of experience in it and love working in it. So if you have any challenges with your games business, you should definitely give us a call.
Perfect. Hey, well, Ben, thank you so much for being on with us. To our listeners, thank you so much for tuning in. And I'm looking forward to our next episode at Pathmonk Presents. Thanks a lot, Ben.
Thanks.